Hi everyone, this is Abhinav from PhoneBunch and today we are taking a look at the YU Yunique. It was launched yesterday in New Delhi and it comes with great specifications at a very good price point. You have the Snapdragon 410 quad-core processor with 4G LTE capability, 1GB of RAM, 8GB internal storage, 8 megapixel rear, 2 megapixel front camera, 2000 mAh battery with a 4.7-inch HD display that's covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 3, all for just Rs 4,999. Now it's a Snapdeal exclusive and will be available starting September 15th. So that's a YU Yunique right there. Let's set that aside. Now you do get a free screen card within the box as well. That's your warranty card as well as SAR information. I'll have that right up top. Now you do get a headset within the box as well. It does look quite neat, in-ear style. It has an inline microphone as well. You also get a micro USB to USB data syncing and charging cable, YU branded. And there's your USB wall charger. It looks a bit different and it's rated at just 700 milliamps, so it might take a bit of time to charge your device. So folks, this is the YU Yunique. 4.7 inches display in front, covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Now the design is pretty similar to what we have seen with the Yuphoria. We'll compare it with that as well. Now you can again see the triple button layout on the right. So you have two volume buttons and in between is sandwiched the power button. The buttons do have adequate feedback, they don't feel mushy, have good travel as well. These are made out of plastic and you can see this rounded sort of design. It does make the phone easier to hold. At the top you have the 3.5mm audio jack, there is nothing on the left. Now at the bottom you have the micro USB data syncing and charging port. Now moving to the back, you have a 8 megapixel camera, LED flash with that Saturn ring-like structure that you keep talking about. At the bottom you have the speakerphone. Now this phone is made in China, it's not made in India, at least at present. And you can see this sort of symmetrical design philosophy that YU has been following. The back cover in itself isn't that sturdy. You can see that it does flex, but when on the phone it's actually quite sturdy. There's no bend or flex there. Now coming to the insides, you have a 2000 mAh non-removable battery. You have two micro SIM card slots, either both or one of them support 4G. And you have a micro SD card slot up top as well to expand storage. Overall the build is pretty decent, no bend or flex anywhere. It's actually quite solid and does feel good to hold in the hand as well. Now coming to the front, you have a 2 megapixel camera, proximity and light sensors. There's a notification LED embedded within the earpiece as well. And you can see this new animation, that's the boot animation there. You have on-screen buttons on this 4.7-inch IPS display. Well folks, we have now booted into stock Android 5.1.1 Lollipop running on the YU Yunique. Now you can upgrade to CyanogenOS 12.1, but we would have to check exactly how to do that and I'll get back to you. Overall performance does seem quite nice over here. There is no bloatware on this device. No additional apps that have come pre-installed apart from the basic Google apps. And you can see right here, we are running Android 5.1.1, the latest right out of the box on this one. Now if we come to storage, you have about 4.08 gigs available when you get the device for the first time. Apps are movable to the external SD storage. We'll check if app data is movable as well. USB OTG is also supported on the device and right now we are playing a 1080p video right off the USB disk. And you can see that it plays quite well. This is in MKV format. And right now about 417 MB of RAM is free out of that 1 gig. So that's actually quite enough for multitasking. So as I said earlier, you have a 4.7-inch HD IPS display clad in Corning Gorilla Glass 3. You can see that it actually looks quite sharp. The viewing angles are quite decent. There's a bit of color shifting in gray colors. That's the only color that I've seen. If you just change it to any other wallpaper, you'll see that there's actually no color shifting there. Color reproduction also actually seems pretty good. It seems natural. There's an 8 megapixel camera at the back and you can see that the shutter speed is actually pretty good. This is a new camera interface and you have several modes available right here, so you can customize that too. There are some effects built in as well and you can see the effects applied directly onto the viewfinder. Lots of settings over here, lots of customization too, including changing ISO, exposure and white balance. And you have a 2 megapixel front facing camera which actually again captures images quickly and the image did turn out quite alright. Again, different lighting, we'll check that out too. The rear camera does capture images quite well. There is good amount of detail over here. The color reproduction also seems good. Slightly muted though. We'll be definitely checking out this camera in greater detail. Now these are some of the shots that I took outdoors and you can see the colors really look good. Quite a lot of sharpness here as well. So stay tuned for our camera review for this one. Now, given that this phone is running stock Android 5.1, there isn't any customization available over here. You can't add themes, you don't have double tap to wake or several other gestures that came with CyanogenOS. It's quite stock, you can't edit the quick toggles as well, you don't have multiple user accounts. So yes, it is limited in a sense, but then again, CyanogenMod seems to be buggy, at least on the U devices that I've launched before. Overall performance is still very smooth over here, no bloatware as I said earlier. Apps open up very quickly, you can see that right here too. And even switching between apps is quite fine on this device, even though you have just 1 GB of RAM. Now let's check out web browsing. This is the default Lollipop keyboard, and here too you can see that images and text do render quite quickly. Pinch to zoom is quite alright again. This is a 5-point multi-touch display. Yes, there is a bit of jerkiness when you try to move fast through a web page. And now let's just open a few apps and we'll check how this phone performs in multitasking. So let's go back to Chrome and you can see that it reloaded. So garbage collection is a bit aggressive over here. Now as I said earlier, there is a notification LED you see glowing in the earpiece, and you have an accelerometer, proximity sensor and a light sensor all working fine on the device. Now if we compare it with the Yuphoria, you can see the difference in design as well as the difference in size. The Yuphoria came with metal accents on the left and right of the device, while this one is made out of plastic. But the design elements are still quite similar, including the buttons, the camera module at the back, and the symmetrical structure that we have seen from YU. Now priced at just ₹4,999, the YU Yunique is one of the most affordable 4G LTE devices available in India with an HD display. Moreover, it has solid build quality, a good display and decent cameras to boot. We'll be taking an in-depth look at this device, so stay tuned to PhoneBunch for our full review, gaming review as well as camera review. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, let us in the comment section, and as always, have a great day.